we don't second guess. Unapologetic, we're bold and we're loud, shining light on the left shady crowd. Oreo Express, rolling down the track, exposing the lies, ain't no turning back. Conservative fire, we're speaking the truth. At Oreo Express, this one's for you. So grab your boots, let's take a stand for freedom, faith, and the heart of this land. Oreo Express, let's roll, let's go. So grab your boots, let's take a stand for freedom, faith, and the heart of this land. Oreo Express.
Celebrate our newest launch, Rev 7. I'm bringing you an amazing introductory offer, plus an exclusive overstock sale that you're not going to want to miss. Rev 7 is our premium energy drink that tastes great and gives you energy all day with no jitters and no crashes. That's because there's no sugar and no caffeine. I'm so sure you're going to love Rev 7 that for a limited time you can try our 3-pack absolutely free. Or check out our Percale bed sheets. I can't believe I'm even going to say this. Every color, every style, every size, only $29.88. So go to mypillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use your promo code to save 20% on our Rev 7 12-packs or try our introductory 3-pack absolutely free. And our Percale bed sheets, all sizes, only $29.88, even the queens and kings. Inventory is extremely limited, so order now.
That's right, folks. Order now. Check out mypillow.com, America First, a Patriot company, and you're helping us out here at the Oreo Express at the same time. It's great to partner with them, and what a great product, a product I get to use. I love it. So head over to mypillow.com, check it out. Welcome. Happy Friday, folks. We made it through another week. How about that? Almost, right? Almost. But it's been a crazy week, as many of these weeks, and it just seems like the last 19, 20 months has just been insane. So I just want to say, first off, thank you for tuning in. Thank you to the Oreo Army members. Thank you for everybody to hit that like button and share this out. Without you guys, we can't do it. Think you have an idea of what we're going to talk about today. When we were finishing up our final show yesterday, I almost went live last night, but by the time we got home from Caden's racing, and I'll tell you about that. He went and raced. We haven't raced BMX in a few months. Last 2 times we went out there, we thought they were racing and they weren't. So we ended up just going and getting ice cream or something. And so last night he went out there, and Caden's one of those that he was always really good at bike racing. So as long as he was in first, he didn't push it, right? He only went as hard as he had to win the race, which, hey, you win. And so it's 3 races. You have 3 little segments. And the first race, he went and he didn't get a good start. And he realized, I got to do hard the next time. So he took first, second, and third race. And I told Rachel, I said, look, kid comes out of retirement and already on the podium. But it was great. It was fun times last night. And then KLM 79, I don't know if that person is in the chat. I don't see that yet. We went and got him ice cream at one of his favorite ice cream shops. I got to say, the ice cream shop is good. And I was like, we had been there a few times. It's across town, but it's by the racetrack. So it's a good excuse to go over there when we're at the racetrack. And I had to look at it. I think it started in Canton, Ohio. It's called Handles. It's kind of a newer location here in Fresno. They have like 112, 120 locations. Good ice cream. But they do not have a kids cup. So the smallest you can get is like 2 scoops. So this kid's holding an ice cream that's bigger than him, but he ate like 90% of it. So, hey, he's ready to go. Welcome to everybody in the chat. Let me go through some of the comments in the chat. I noticed I had Matt over on YouTube. It says, until I actually see arrest and prison time, nothing is going to happen. I voted Trump, but indictments mean nothing at this point. And then he puts Hillary Clinton, Obama, Biden, Holder, Kerry. Until I see them in prison, nothing is going to happen. Indictment means nothing. I'm just being honest. I get where you're coming from on that. I really do. Now, I'll tell you some of those names. I don't think we'll see anything. I don't think we'll see anything on Clinton, and I don't think we'll see anything on Obama or Biden. And in reality, Obama and Biden, you're definitely not going to see anything because as the Supreme Court rules, they have 100% presidential immunity. It was put, one of the questions asked during that Supreme Court ruling. So as if Trump walks out and shot somebody point blank in the head, would he be free under presidential immunity? And they said yes. So you're not going to get a president at this point, not with that last one. But I do think you will see some other folks. I mean, I have some top lists. I got like Swalwell, Schiff, Fauci, some of those folks that I'll be honest, if I just see 6 months in jail for some of them, I want them to, I got to watch what I say, but I think you guys know what I want to say, that the true punishment for treason is what I would like to see. But we'll see. And you guys got to understand, it doesn't matter who's guilty and what they did. A lot of times it matters whether they get an activist judge, somebody appointed by Biden or Obama, going to be much more lenient, throw a lot of the evidence out of the case. We know how this works. We are up against the war. We're going to talk about that today. We're going to talk about J6. Imagine that. They had almost 300 plainclothed agents on January 6th. We're going to get into that. We're going to show you some video. Maybe this was an agent. We've been saying that since day one. We're also going to show you chaos this morning outside the Chicago ICE facility, guys. When you see this stuff, you'll be like what Matt said. Why aren't these people being arrested? They're impeding, they're obstructing. I looked at it this morning, and you guys are going to be shocked about some of the video. I'm not shocked, but you're just going to be amazed that we continue to allow this to happen in the country. And I don't know. Militias were formed for a reason. We had militias in this country for a reason. If those militias need to stand outside of ICE facilities just to protect our ICE officers and allow them to do the job that they swore an oath to do, maybe. We got Sugar Bear in the house, Trina, Melissa, B. Mikey with that American flag, Pixie. Let's see. Trina, how are you doing, Trina? Yes, we covered that yesterday. Trina says, Pete Hegseth summons all generals and admirals to meet next week. Yes. You know, what's kind of interesting is I kind of don't know the reason, and I'm not going to speculate. It could be a big deal. It could be a little deal. It could be like, hey, we need to get our crap in order, right? But what if it had to do with stuff going on American soil? And I hate to say that because there's so many people. The army's in control. President Trump will be installed. We heard that for like so many years, and I lost a lot of followers because I called them all crazies. And I don't mean they're crazy like left-wing crazy. I mean, just whoever you're listening to, stop listening to them. Kelly. Let's see. Bad Boy Channel in the house. First Amendment Media is in here. Let's see. Sunkiss, Carol Burton. For Jesus, like that name. Newfie Guy. And K Texas in the house. I love seeing the Oreo Army with us. So I'm going to start off with something that it's just a short video. Has nothing to do with our topics today, but it is going viral, and there's reason for this. These are supposedly Halloween decorations near Houston. And it literally has 2 people with MAGA hats hanging by a noose with a large Mexican flag. And then a guy in one of those ponchos, I guess you call him. That's what I always called Ben when he wore it, Poncho Benny. And I'm going to show you this. I want to get your take on this. Now I want to stop it really quick. Now they to me they're dressed like agents with MAGA hats on because they got the face mask on, which is what ICE is doing right now in order to protect themselves and their family from radical leftists. But as you see there, I don't know who that is in the on the ground. You got a couple caskets there. I just find it amazing that people raise the flag of another country that they're literally like a 5-hour drive from. If it's so great, go live there and see how much you brag about it then. Yeah, see, they have zip ties in their pockets, and there's their flag. Now, I'm just going to tell you, I'm an advocate for free speech. I really am. And they have a right to do that. I don't think it should be taken down. I think, if anything, it exposes them. I think they might be in the majority when in reality, more people love America than love foreign countries or a country they fled. But it's causing a little bit of an uproar. It's causing a little bit of an uproar online, and we'll see what happens. I can tell you that, again, I don't see any reason why a city would say anything or anything like that. I would just hate to be that neighbor, right? But I'm sure I have, I think, one neighbor that hates my Trump stuff outside, so it's all right. That's all right. So it had nothing to do with any of the stories. But let's take a listen. Let's get into James Comey. We told you yesterday when it was during our final broadcast that we talked about James Comey. We got the news as we were getting close to ending our show, and we covered that, indicted, two felony indictments. We knew he had lied under oath. There had been proof. We had the IG report. Was anything ever going to happen? And of course, the left, who persecuted Christians, parents at school board meetings, everything else, people that were MAGA, Trump supporters for the last 4 years say, Trump can't do this. This is an injustice. Well, take a listen to this. It's funny. We're going to show you a couple different videos today.
Beach. What happened? You were walking on the beach and you saw this on the beach?
Yeah, my wife and I, Patrice, were walking on the beach and saw those numbers in shells on the beach. And
you didn't do this. Somebody else did this.
Yeah, somebody else did it. We were on a walk preparing for this week, the rollout of my book.
Yep.
She looked at it and said, why'd someone put their address in the sand?
All right.
And then we stood at it, trying to figure out what it was. And she'd long been a server in restaurants. And she said, you know what I think it is?
Yeah.
I think it's a reference to restaurants when you would 86 something in a restaurant.
Right, it's off the menu.
Yeah. I said, no, I remember when I was a kid, you'd say 86 to get out of a place. This place stinks, let's 86 it.
Right. I was a bartender. You would 86 a customer if they were getting drunk. Like, let's 86 them. Let's, like, give them a low-proof alcohol, something like that. Yeah.
And so I said, I think it's a clever political message. And she said, you should take a picture of it. I said, sure. And then she said, you should Instagram that. And boom.
Sounds like a legit story to me. So I think most of you, I won't say all of you, knew what 8647 was. If you've watched any of my live streams, you don't have to be, check this out, the former director of the FBI, not knowing what 8647 means. I mean, that right there is stupid enough. But, oh, my wife told me to post it. My wife said this might be this. Maybe he is an absolute retard. I don't know. I know he was in the FBI long enough to know what that is. They look for stuff. They have tracers. He oversaw agents that they looked for messages like that. And so we're going to talk about him. He was indicted yesterday. And boy, is mainstream media, the legacy media that has lied to you for so much, coming down. But as we want to get into, you know, a little bit, you guys know he was the FBI director. You know he lied under oath. You know he leaked classified information. It was in the IG report. It's not a lie. But listen to this. What do you think the day after Biden was inaugurated? What do you think he was calling for? January 21st, 2021. What do you think he was calling for? Let's find out. Again, this is the day after Joe Biden was inaugurated.
Convict him, bar him from future service, have the prosecutors, the local prosecutors in New York, pursue him for the fraudster that he was before he ever became president, lock him up for the garden variety frauds he did there, but don't give him that center stage, that dominant role in our national life just down the street where Joe Biden is trying to heal this nation. Convict him, bar him from future service.
Or Joe Biden's trying to heal this nation. So according to Comey, healing people is politically targeting them, persecuting them. Now, I don't know about you, again, but I do. I try not to stay in a echo chamber. I really don't. I love having conversations. I love having conversations where I talk to people that aren't political like me, that don't know what's going on, and try to get their take. And one of the things that I found interesting is, at first, when I was talking to these people, they were, hey, man, are you busy at work? And I'd say, give me your take on this. And this is over the last 4 years when Biden was president. And I remember the first, even with COVID and the regulations with COVID, and we're going to force you, and the lies they told us. B Mikey, big shout out. B Mikey gifted some subscriptions over there. Let's see. There it is. Yes, B Mikey, thank you. Appreciate your support, and thank you for the gifts to everybody. But they would say, you know, at the beginning, oh, he's just, you know, he's trying to, we got COVID and everything's going on. But towards 2.5 years into the presidency, they were like, this man is insane. And I'm talking independents. I'm talking people that lean left, especially on social issues. Probably, I would say most people I know are fiscally conservative, but socially liberal when it comes to the independent game. You know, you live your life, and they're changing too, because living your life turned into worship my flag, and they're understanding that as well. But I remember them saying, man, this is crazy. When I had good friends that I disagree with 100%. I remember when they raided my house and I got home from jail that day. Pulled me and my family out of the house by gunpoint. And I'm getting texts and calls. It was interesting. A lot of people, I mean, some of you know, it was very similar to Roger Stone. Before I was actually booked, there was already stories coming out of the East Coast that there had been a raid on my house and that I was arrested. MAGA man arrested for having an illegal firearm. There is no such thing as an illegal firearm under the Second Amendment, by the way. Proof that here I am sitting here, not in jail. And I remember them saying, dude, out of everybody. They know me. They know I'd give them the shirt off my back. I would do anything I could to help anybody. I don't care about your political affiliation. And that woke some people up. Like if they'll come for Josh because of his podcast and because of his live streaming and stuff, this is a scary day in America. Like they see it on TV. They see Roger Stone. Oh, well, that's Roger. But they see Josh, a guy that they've drank beer with, that they'll come to my house and hang out at the pool. And they see how I raise my kids. They see how I interact with people. They've seen the best and the worst of me because they're my friends. They started waking up.
Have the prosecutors,
January 21st, 2021, day after Joe Biden got inaugurated, he's calling for weaponization to go after Trump. It's funny how soon people forget this. And you won't turn on ABC 30. They can't be our ABC, CNN. They can't be non-biased, right? They're going to stand up. We're going to show you that. They're going to stand up for all the folks that are on the left. Check this out. We got to watch this and see, well, what are we talking about here? These testimonies were about a month apart. Comey has lied under oath numerous times. The average person goes to prison for doing this. As Matt said on YouTube earlier, I think as long as the swamp judicial system don't get involved, Comey will do jail time. Now, hey, I said if. Now, do I think there's a higher likelihood that the swamp judicial system, just like the judicial coup that we see blocking Trump's executive orders, probably plays a bigger part here. Take a listen.
Director Comey, have you ever been an anonymous source in news reports about matters relating to the Trump investigation or the Clinton investigation?
Never.
Have you ever authorized someone else at the FBI to be an anonymous source in news reports about the Trump investigation or the Clinton investigation?
No. I needed to get that out into the public square. And so I asked a friend of mine to share the content of the memo with a reporter. Didn't do it myself for a variety of reasons, but I asked him to because I thought that might prompt the appointment of a special counsel.
Director Comey, have you ever been...
So think about that for a second. And again, we're going to get into, I think a lot of you know what he did, but wasn't his friend, one of the professors at some college says, hey, make sure you get this out. This was a FBI memo. He was doing it. Once again, he wanted to attack President Trump. This is political persecution. He's releasing things. But I haven't seen CNN play this clip. Maybe they just forgot about it. And then I keep saying this. It was Democrats and legacy media for how many? For 4 years. Because they were trying to get Trump, said nobody is above the law.
In the lead, you're not untouchable.
Let me just show you.
No one is above the law.
Nobody's above the law.
No person is above the law.
No one is above the law.
No one is
Above the law.
No one is above the law.
No one is above the law.
You're not above the law. You're not an elite. You're not untouchable. And so it's nice to see that the rule of law has returned.
I think it's absolutely wonderful the rule of law has returned.
No one is above the law.
Nobody's above the law. Nope.
See what else we have coming up. So James Comey reacted to the indictment. Went as you can see, he is reading probably a statement his attorney emailed to him online. He went, I guess, did a video on Instagram. He's a big Instagram guy.
My family and I have known for years that there are costs to standing up to Donald Trump. But we couldn't imagine ourselves living any other way. We will not live on our knees, and you shouldn't either. Somebody that I love dearly recently said that fear is the tool of a tyrant, and she's right. But I'm not afraid. And I hope you're not either. I hope instead you are engaged, you are paying attention, and you will vote like your beloved country depends upon it, which it does. My heart is broken for the Department of Justice, but I have great confidence in the federal judicial system, and I'm innocent. So let's have a trial.
Let's do it. I mean, this is how it works. They say this is political persecution, but didn't this have to go through a grand jury? And maybe I'm wrong. That's what I read. Let me fix it. Maybe I'm reading fake stories. It wasn't on CNN that I seen that, so it must be fake. How about this? We told you the same thing that they did for 4 years. Whatever Democrats accusing Republicans of doing, they've done or they're currently in process of doing, right? And Rep. Pramila Jayapal. Trump is weaponing the DOJ against his political enemies. Listen to this. Today it's Comey. Tomorrow it could be anyone he disagrees with. So did they get a talking point? Let's find out. Who is the next person? Let me do this first, and then we'll go back to that. No. Hold on. Let me fix this. Ed Markey. If he can do this to Comey, he can do it to anyone. This is what dictators do. We cannot be silent. So they are. Little talking point was if they can do it to him, they could do it to a former FBI director. Hell, if they could do it to a prison and go through Melania's panty drawer for an FBI raid because they were worried that Trump had the materials that we now have found in a burn bag. Yeah, it's going to get deep for these folks. It's going to get deep for these folks. How about this one? We got to listen to these folks losing it. Another person that said nobody is above the law. Take a listen to our good friend here.
It bears repeating. You do this, you turn the person you hate into a martyr. You make them bigger than ever. You unite people behind them. Donald Trump understood this in his own political campaign. And yet he's now making Comey a martyr.
A martyr.
A martyr.
You know who was a martyr? Charlie Kirk. That's who a martyr was.
Or the rule of law. That will be the first line in his obituary. That he was an FBI director, but that he became a martyr because a president said on social media to an attorney general, go and arrest this guy for the first time in our lifetime. And so now the world looks at James Comey and they see that he is a political and a legal martyr.
I just can't get over these folks. I really can't, man. And we know this was coming. They're going to make a big deal out of it. They're going to try to brainwash the people. There's not going to be any honesty in journalism or reporting. There hasn't been for a very long time. Again, these people, sadly, have tried to brainwash you with their talking points. We're even going to get into a video of Biden here in a moment. But one more time, we got to play a little video here of the highlight reel when they were trying to go after Trump.
No one is above the law, no matter how rich, powerful, or politically connected you are.
Our job is to follow the facts and the law without fear or favor.
The fact is, no one is above the law.
No one, not even the president, is above the law.
No one is.
I agree. Whether it's perjury, whether Big Tish right there, whether it's mortgage fraud, we're going to see some things coming down. Trump, and I wasn't sure how he was going to play that. If you remember, he literally said, and he said this in interviews, the reason why he didn't go after Hillary Clinton and all those folks, the first 4 years, he thought this nation needed a time to heal. There was a war against him. There was a war against conservatives. There was a war against MAGA. And he literally said he didn't want to pour gas on the fire. And then he learned through that 4 years and the 4 years following, when they were politically persecuting him, when they were trying to imprison him, his family, when leftist attorneys were filing lawsuits like crazy. He was getting accused of rape from somebody that couldn't remember the date, the time, anything else. And that was being funded by a leftist hack. It's all been an attack. It's all been, can we get this in front of the media? And you know what Trump has done? You know what you have done? We have taken over the media. Yeah, well, we might not be on your 5 o'clock news. Actually, sometimes we are, unfortunately. But you guys get what I mean. It's an information war. And as at this point, we're winning the information war. I mean, you have Turning Point. We've been talking about Turning Point for a long time, but especially the last 2 weeks. And then you have Gavin Newsom last week come out with a Temu turning point. A Temu turning point. Thinking he's going to do anything close to what Charlie Kirk was able to do with his team. What else do we got here? How about this CNN clip? Listen to this. I just love this. Let me fix this. It's going to be a little bit smaller on the screen, but it annoys me.
Trump. So let's be clear. He is a pro at this. He's not an amateur. James Comey went pro in leaking.
Okay, let's
That's
stick,
a fact.
let's stick with what we're talking about today. But
No, but I'm saying there is a history with him.
I don't think that history
leaking.
is relevant.
I think it's relevant. We're talking about, did you or did you not leak classified information?
I really want you to finish your original point. You were saying.
So I go back to the history. Is there a chance that he leaked and lied? Yes. Is there a chance he lied to Congress? Is there a chance that Comey and McCabe both lied under oath? There are a lot of options here, but the idea that you're saying that, like, oh, we know and it's a weak case, I don't think tonight.
Okay,
let me
just tell you the reason.
Know which testimony it was.
Yeah, well, let me just tell you. Hold on, let me just tell you the reason I said that there are certain parts of this that are not in question. In the interview with the Office of Inspector General, Andy McCabe, who was James Comey's deputy, he admitted to the Inspector General that he was the one who authorized the leak. He also admitted that after the leak, he went to his boss, James Comey, told him about it. Now, the part of it that is in question is McCabe characterizes that conversation one way, saying that Comey just sort of shrugged, didn't really say that it was a bad thing. And Comey says, no, that's not what happened. I actually thought it was very problematic. But on top of that, one of the other parts of this is that if you want to figure out who to believe, there's more information to back up Comey's side, because the day after the story was published, he convened a staff meeting with the special counsel in attendance. And the special counsel had contemporaneous notes that said that Comey said in that meeting that they needed to figure out how to get our folks to understand why leaks hurt our organization. So I know this is getting in the weeds here, but the facts actually matter.
Sure.
And again, there is a reason that when this was addressed in Donald Trump's first administration, his AG said, we're looking at McCabe here, but even McCabe wasn't charged, even though it's clear that McCabe is the person who authorized the leak.
So I think that's a good point. Let's get McCabe.
But I also think Chris Coons was just.
But I don't know if she watched the video. I said CNN wouldn't play it. Let's take a look one more time where Comey himself admits, just months apart from each other. Take a listen.
An anonymous source in news report. Director Comey, have you ever been an anonymous source in news reports about matters relating to the Trump investigation or the Clinton investigation?
Never.
Have you ever authorized someone else at the FBI to be an anonymous source in news reports about the Trump investigation or the Clinton investigation?
No, I needed to get that out into the public square. And so I asked a friend of mine to share the content of the memo with a reporter.
Now, we knew CNN, MSNBC, ABC, CBS, they're going to be the attorneys for Comey. They're going to be the cheerleaders. They're going to call Trump a tyrant. I mean, they've been doing it for a long time. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. People, our job is to get out the truth. How about this right here? Let's see. We played that one. Listen to this. This was June of 2024. Comey described how he wanted to see Trump in prison. This is just over a year ago, guys.
So a lot of people have suggested that there are a range of factors that would make it difficult to put the system has not been tested in this way. Do you agree with that it would be difficult or nearly impossible for the law enforcement institutions to put him in actual jail?
No, they would just put him in a double wide somewhere out near the fence, out in the grass. And he would eat there, he'd shower there, he'd exercise there, he'd be away, as Danya Perry said, from general population, but it's obviously doable.
Well, I'm just going to say this. I want to see James Comey in general population. I want to see, I think it's very doable. No special privileges for these leakers, liars, and perjurers. Let me see something really quick. Rumble. Stock price, good buying price right now is what I'll say. This was also on CNN, the little banter back and forth between these people. I just love this. Joanna Mosca loses her temper at Ben Ferguson during a discussion about Comey being indicted. She says it's political persecution, and he just starts laughing. We all laugh when Democrats say that at this point because we lived it. And I want you to take a look at this right here and just watch how CNN, you're done, Ben. You're done. Watch. I just find this so hilarious.
Gentlemen, that Trump is trying to flex a muscle here. But the average American, my hometown, Galesburg, Illinois, the people who voted for Donald Trump want them to flex muscles for them, not for a political persecution. And right now,
I don't know this. I'm asking sincerely. Did you vote for Trump?
No, I did not.
Okay, raise your hand if you voted for Trump. I did.
How many friends
you have no idea what we believe.
I love that. I love when Democrats that hate Trump with TDS says Trump people are tired of him. They don't want him doing this. Like, I'll be honest. I was at the gym yesterday in my MAGA hat, and a dude that I see every day working out, he's never said anything, and we're by each other all the time throwing weights around, and he just goes, huh. When we go out in the streets and we're interviewing people, when people see what we're wearing, isn't he great? When it's the waiter, the waitress. I tell you, when you doing this job, even sometimes, all you do is hear the negativity about Trump. That's why we try to correct some of those. But I feel like $1 million when I'm out in public. Even in blue cities, people have to say, I love your hat. God bless Trump. But listen to this.
Talk to very regularly? No,
that's not. He literally ran on saying he was going to do this.
Manufacturing plants in Iowa.
He literally ran on saying there was going to be accountability for the abuse of justice.
Exactly what he said. We will hold these people accountable. And CNN at that point says he's going to go after them. We can't elect him. This is going to be his revenge tour.
Here we've got, he literally ran for 4 years saying
Can you just give her a second, please? Thanks.
He literally ran for 4 years saying that political persecution was awful, that he was a victim. It didn't hurt him. He ended up as president of the United States, and now he overturned. He has no outstanding indictments, and now nobody wants him to go after more people.
That's absolutely not what he said.
Nobody wants him. Some of his biggest criticisms right now are not his, but the biggest criticisms with people that were loyal to Pam Bondi and loyal to Kash Patel is, why haven't anybody been put in jail yet? That is one of the biggest criticisms from the MAGA movement.
And what small percentage of the MAGA base will be happy with this.
You're also
Many
wrong.
people are very concerned about their economic security.
You can do two things at the same time.
Not addressing that.
Donald Trump, and there was a montage played on CNN earlier today. He literally ran off saying there will be accountability for the abuse of power in the deep state, period. He said it by name, James Comey. He said he was a liar by name.
Yeah, well,
he said it in almost every campaign rally. No one.
It's funny, CNN covered that when he was saying that and calling James Comey out during his campaign. I think they even interviewed James Comey about it. But now they're saying he never said this. He didn't run on this. He ran on dandelions and flowers. Not Trump. Not Trump, just to let y'all know. How about this one? This was CNN. I think this was last night. I was checking some videos out for today. They don't have a case against Comey. We're showing you the case against Comey, and we don't even have all the details. Take a listen to this.
And what happened here? Our Attorney General, our Deputy Attorney General, and appointed, I think, Saturday or Monday of this week, who has zero justification to be head of one of the best, if not the best, U.S. Attorney's offices. She was the one who signed this indictment because no prosecutor in my old office, where I worked for 20 years, dared sign this piece of paper. Let's get to the charges.
Yeah. Do they have a case on that signing then?
Do they have a case? Omar, this case is so weak. No prosecutor, line prosecutor, or career prosecutor, or the former U.S. Attorney, Eric Sieper, who also has honor, they wouldn't sign it. But Lindsay Halligan would, because who is she? She is a person who will do whatever Mr. Trump wants. And that is wrong. That is the antithesis of what a career prosecutor and a U.S. attorney should do. The merits of this case are so weak. If you play back that clip, Mr. Cruz falsely summarized what Andy McCabe said. So their charge is this: a false summary of what Andy McCabe said, and Jim Comey says, I stand by what I said. That's obstruction. That's a false statement. By itself, it's not a criminal violation. Let's go.
So I don't know if you guys remember Steve Bannon. Who was the other guy? I always want to say Roger Stone. Peter. I can't even remember right now. Both sent to prison because of a sham J6 committee that destroyed all their evidence. Trump will go after that too. I promise you. There's going to be people worried. Adam Schiff better be keeping that diaper on. I thought this was great. You know how C-SPAN has their little political talk show? They allow people to call in. Listen to this caller. I think you guys will get a kick out of this one.
We have Kash Patel.
David in Maryland.
David in Maryland. David in the swamp. Take a listen.
Democratic caller. Hi, David.
Hello, how are you? Thank you for having me on. I think that, Comey, his record speaks for itself. He was a very honorable man who served his country. He did everything by the book. I think he was the prime example of someone.
He did everything by the book. Look, she looks down at her iPad right now and she's like, hold on a second.
You want to direct the FBI. Currently we have Kash Patel, who I think is a complete idiot. He's sick. He's a sick man in that position and unqualified. And for Trump to go after Comey at this point is very obvious, the trail that led up to this and his feelings about Comey. And the only mistake Comey ever made was getting involved with Trump.
Well, David, how do you respond to this? This is the Associated Press back in 2019. According to Inspector General Watchdog, Comey violated FBI policies in handling of memos. And this is what the Inspector General found. Violated FBI policies in his handling of memos documenting private conversations with President Trump. The Watchdog office said Comey broke bureau rules by giving one memo containing unclassified information to a friend with instructions to share the content with a reporter. Comey also failed to return his memos to the FBI after he was dismissed in May of 2017, retaining copies of some of them in a safe at home, and shared them with his personal lawyers without permission from the FBI. Goes on to say the report is the second in as many years to criticize Comey's actions as FBI director, following a separate Inspector General rebuke for decisions made during the investigation into Hillary Clinton's use of a private email server. It is one of multiple Inspector General investigations undertaken in the last 3 years into the decisions and actions of Comey and other senior FBI leaders. Now, David, you said Comey didn't make any mistakes.
Say something? Yeah. Okay. Well, what I like to say is that's course of doing business.
Good on C-SPAN. Good on C-SPAN. That's all I got to say. I seen this clip this morning, and I just, that's just the cost of doing business. Oh, my God. Those folks in Maryland. Well, Trump takes some questions, and he just spit some facts this morning on the way to, he was walking out of the White House on the way to the Ryder Cup. Take a listen.
President Trump, are you worried now that the next Democratic president, they will indict your FBI director or people in your administration?
That's what they tried to do, right? They did it with me for 4 years. They went after me. They went after me for 4 years, and that doesn't include the 4 great years that we had in the White House. So when I ran it from, 2016 when we won, it began before I got to office. You know that. Wait a minute. Before I came to office, I started hearing rumors about Russia. I said, what the hell do I have to do with Russia? Nothing. And then it got worse and worse. And some of the fakers, not you, but some of the fake news picked it up and they loved it. And we went through a long time with that. And despite that, we had a great first term.
That's how it went.
That was great. That was great. They asked him, what about the Democrats get back into power? And they retaliate against him or his FBI director. And he goes, they went after me for 4 years, even before that. And this one here, I like this. I like this. Let's pull this up.
And I'm James Comey. Now that James Comey has been indicted, who is the next person on your list in this retribution?
It's not a list, but I think there'll be others. I mean, they're corrupt. These were corrupt, radical left Democrats. Because Comey essentially was he was worse than a Democrat. I would say the Democrats are better than Comey. But no, there'll be others. Look, that's my opinion. They weaponized the Justice Department like nobody in history. What they've done is terrible. And so I hope there are others, because you can't let this happen to a country.
Will you appoint a permanent U.S. attorney to try this case? Lindsey Halligan has never tried a case.
Well, we'll see, but it's a pretty easy case because, look, he lied. You saw my truth today. He lied. It was yes, no. He didn't say, well, in my opinion, he didn't do a lot of things that maybe he should have, but I don't think he could because he lied. That was a very important question that he was asked, and he wanted to be specific, but he didn't The only thing that happened to him, he didn't think he'd get caught. That answer that he gave, that was a very important answer. And it was for him, it was a very good answer if he didn't get caught. But he got caught lying to Congress.
So he gets caught lying to Congress. Nobody's above the law, right, Democrats? I'll pull up that True Social post he's talking about so you guys see that really quick. Why do I got to sign in? I'm signed in for... I like this. This is one of his posts. It says, whether you like corrupt James Comey or not, I can't imagine too many people liking him. He lied. It's not a complex lie. It's very simple, but an important one. There is no way he can explain his way out of that. He's a dirty cop and always has been. But he was just assigned a crooked Joe Biden appointed judge. So he's off to a very good start. Nevertheless, words are words, and he wasn't hedging or in dispute. He was very positive. There was no doubt in his mind about what he said or meant by saying it. He let himself zero margin of error on a big important answer to a question. He just got unexpectedly caught. James Dirty Cop Comey was a destroyer of lives. He knew exactly what he was saying, and it was a very serious and far-reaching lie for which very big price must be paid. And then, let's see. I like this. He put that up there. That's how we make America great again. Good old Trump. Oh no, that was a hold on. Let's go back. He also posted this. Wow, we're going to get into this in just 1 minute. A radical left Democrat scam. Talking about the 274 agents sent to the Capitol for J6. We're looking for the one he shared. He shared this too.
Secretary Lutnick, Secretary Besson, and I are working on some options. Ultimately, it will be up to the president. You may remember that the president turned down an offer to basically have the company sold for $100+ billion. Today, I believe that valuation's $500 to $700 billion, maybe even eventually up towards.
Oh, that's something else. I thought that was going to be about the mortgage fraud. What else do we got here? Let's take a look.
Who is about to launch another campaign. Who is about to launch another campaign. So how do you reassure them if that is the reason for their questioning, that the former president will not return, or that his political movement, which is still very strong, will not once again take power in the United States?
Well, we just have to demonstrate that he will not take power by if he does run, making sure he, under legitimate efforts of our Constitution, does not become the next president again.
Who is about to launch another
We will
campaign?
guarantee he won't become president, and that's what we've seen. We've seen the indictments. We've seen the gag orders where he couldn't even talk about the cases and the things he was being accused on. How about this? FBI had 275 plainclothes agents embedded in January 6 crowds, congressional sources say. Imagine that, guys. Imagine that. Now, there is a caveat to this. I'm trying to figure out the timeline they got there. They are saying, according to reports, that these people didn't arrive with Trump supporters. That's what they're saying. I'll give them that. They arrived after the Trump supporters. But we had asked during this violence, during this video we watched, was there any FBI agents on the ground? I think it was Comey who said no. I think it was Comey. I think it was Andrew McCabe. I think it was a lot of people. Department of Homeland Security, Mayorkas, no. And now we're finding out, this broke last night, but that the FBI, again, 200 and almost 300 plainclothes agents embedded. And a lot of people are now posting videos like, is this an agent? Why did they uncancaf this guy? How come there wasn't a big, we all know about Ray Epps. We all know about him inciting the violence the night before. He was on our live stream saying we need to go into the Capitol. That's when Bake Alaska was out there and like, what the hell is wrong with this boomer? If you guys remember, we've covered that numerous times. Let's take a look at what my next one is. And now that we know this, let's look in 2021 when CNN, the same people that are wanting pregnant women to take Tylenol and telling you that Trump's weaponizing the DOJ because nobody's above the law. Listen to Brian Stelter. He does an entire segment ridiculing the idea that FBI assets were involved with January 6th. This is CNN.
This theory that Carlson has hyped to millions of people.
You, as you make an ass of you and me.
Tucker Carlson must have forgotten this lesson from The Odd Couple, because his latest January 6th conspiracy theory makes huge assumptions in a baseless bid to let rioters off the hook.
But strangely, some of the key people who participated on January 6th have not been charged.
Here's Marjorie Taylor Greene assuming Carlson is right and saying we need names and answers about the FBI operatives who were involved. But this is just yet another baseless theory that Carlson has hyped to millions of people. The existence of unnamed, as yet uncharged co-conspirators does not mean that they were working undercover for the FBI. But in Tucker world, conspiracy beats reality. Just look at his banner on screen asking what really happened on January 6th, as if it's some sort of mystery. And his guest,
of a prior relationship with the federal government.
Darren Beattie, a former speechwriter for President Trump, attended a conference frequented by white nationalists. But Tucker never mentioned any of that. Instead, he promoted Beattie's website, which posted a just asking questions sort of story, suggesting that the feds infiltrated militia groups who ransacked the Capitol.
Always with the questions. Great reporting.
We actually know that. One of the Oath Keepers was CHS, a confidential human source working for the FBI, being paid by the FBI. We actually know multiple people that were there. And now we're seeing 275 plainclothes FBI agents there that day.
Brian Stelter. Brian is here along with the former FBI Assistant Director for the Criminal Investigative Division, Chris Wecker. They're going to explain exactly what's going through Tucker Carlson's head. That's next.
So this is how the right-wing media world works. Starts on a fringe website, gets onto Tucker's show, then it spreads all throughout the GOP. And that's what's happened in the last 24 hours. In the MAGA echo chamber, the idea is that brave patriots were entrapped by the feds, were tricked or were pushed into starting a riot. No evidence at all, lots of evidence to the contrary. But Tucker somehow seems to need to provide excuses for these rioters to let them off the hook, to say they were innocent, brave patriots. It started right away, and it's continued to this day. And now here we are talking about Tucker promoting an inside job, false flag theory. It's all more of the same. And I think in some ways, Don, it is so insidious because they're presenting 7 or 8 different theories, none of which make sense, but all of which provide excuses. I think in some ways it's because the insurrection was so shameful. It was so criminal. It was such an attack on our democracy that there has to be an excuse. Mm-hmm. Tucker has to present these alternative realities in order to let his viewers, I guess, sleep better at night, to be honest, Don.
Another right-wing conspiracy theory. If you guys new to the channel or don't know this, we were there on January 6th. We had the honor and the privilege of bringing you guys some coverage from that weekend. And now we're hearing 275 FBI agents, plainclothes, showed up at the Capitol on January 6th. Now, there's some things, and maybe I'm wrong. I can't remember, but at least what I'm finding out now is this one of them. This is some footage that News to Share purchased from one of the people that were there at January 6th. And this person, as far as I know, has never been identified. Seems like you would want to identify this person. This person has never been arrested nor charged. Let's take a look. Look at this guy tells him to stop, like most MAGA would that day.
Do not go in there.
A radio journalist from Michigan was shooting video that day at the Capitol. What he captured were two, most charitably called suspicious actors, but they are dressed in such a way that led him to believe that they were government agents. And one of them, after the windows had been broken by a protester, it was encouraging people to pull the rest of the glass out and go inside. Bobby Powell, who was the journalist that had shot it, and he has his camera rolling, he told him that would be illegal. And that wouldn't be a good idea. He warned people off not to go into that window. And then he turned his camera around and he caught this agent or suspicious actor pulling a large pane of glass out, this tempered glass. It kind of folds into itself, crunch onto the ground. When he realized he was being filmed, he quickly dropped it. It seems apparent on the video that he did not want to be seen doing what he just did. So he pulled in a protester and started blaming him. He said, "What are you doing breaking that window?" The poor fellow that was being accused didn't know what was going on. And then he gave him a couple of really good shoves and cocked his arm like he was going to punch him. We don't know. His facial image is not on any of the Sedition Hunters sites or the FBI's.
Remember, we were calling out Sedition Hunters. Why don't you have some of these pictures up? You want to come after all of us? My picture was up on Sedition Hunters. Jason's. All of us were up there. They wanted us to go down. And look at us now, loud, proud, back in charge of this country and holding people accountable. They've got to be hating life.
Wanted site, but he clearly was committing criminal damage to property, and he has not been charged. So it raises a question of why.
Also, the individual trying to, again, opening the window up is even encouraging people to enter, I believe, as well?
Yes.
What's he saying?
Well, he said, "Why don't y'all open the rest of it up?"
Why don't you guys open up the rest of it? Because I think that'd probably be illegal.
Because I think that would probably be illegal.
I know my glasses.
So why wasn't there a big push? As far as I know, that person has never been arrested. We've covered this story a couple times over the years, just updating you again. Never a big deal for the FBI. This is another one from someone online. It says 275 FBI agents in the crowd on January 6th. Were these guys feds? They opened the doors and invited the crowd in. This was all a setup. We were right all along. He does not look mad at all. He looks up, he tells something. I need the door open. This guy looks up there as well. He is not what I find amazing is many of these folks that we see and that we've questioned for 4 years now, we haven't seen them charged. Oh, let's see if this is going to go. There was so much of this that day, so many tapes. I don't know if I pulled up the one where the gentleman says, were these part of the 275 FBI agents in the crowd? They don't look like MAGA grandmoms. Let's take a look. Don't break it! Now we know who that is right there. That person served their time. That person served their time there, but there was a lot of other people inciting the violence. I thought this was interesting. The J6 riot, many people, and we've watched some of this video before, was pretty much orchestrated by Nancy Pelosi. She has continued to lie. Trump asked for 10,000 National Guard. That's what Trump asked for, the President of the United States, and was denied. How many remember this?
We did go back into session, but now...
We put this up on the screen.
Finish the proceedings, or else they would have had the complete victory.
Senator Schumer is at a secure location, and they're locked down in the Senate.
There has to be some way we can maintain the sense that people have that there's some security or some confidence that government can function and that we can elect the President of the United States. Did we go back into session?
We did go back into session, but now apparently everybody on the floor is putting on tear gas masks to prepare for a breach. I'm trying to get more information.
They're putting on their
tear gas masks.
I can't.
We need an area for the House members. They're all walking over now through the tunnels.
I'm going to call up the effing Secretary of DOD. We have some senators who are still in their hideaways. They need massive personnel now. Can you get the Maryland National Guard to come too?
I have something to say, Mr. Secretary. Well, I'm going to call the mayor of Washington, D.C. right now and see what other outreach she has to other police departments, as Leader Hoyer has mentioned. Hi, Governor. This is Nancy. Governor, I don't know if you have been approached about the Virginia National Guard. Mr. Hoyer was speaking to Governor Hogan, but I still think you probably need the okay of the federal government in order to come into another jurisdiction. Thank you.
Secretary of the Army.
Oh my gosh, they're just breaking windows. They're doing all kinds of. It's really that they said somebody was shot. It's just horrendous, and all at the instigation of the President of the United States. Okay, thank you, Governor. I appreciate what you're doing, and if you don't mind, I'd like to stay in touch. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Virginia Guard has been called in.
You know, I'm just talking to Governor Northam, and what he said is they sent 200 of state police and a unit of the National Guard. They're breaking windows and going in, obviously ransacking our offices and all the rest of that. That's nothing. The concern we have about personal harm, personal safety it just transcends everything. But the fact is, on any given day, they're breaking the law in many different ways. And quite frankly, much of it at the instigation of the President of the United States. And now, if he could.
Yep, all documented. She had her daughter there that day. And then it also got released that rank and file FBI agents, just your average guys, just signed up to be good cops, claim political bias, infected operations, feeling like pawns in political war, according to an after-action report withheld from the public for over 4 years. Remember, we were going to get truth. We didn't know in the January 6th sham committee that where they destroyed all their evidence and I want them charged. I want every single person on that committee charged, Kingsinger, all of them. But they didn't release that out. They didn't say that the rank and file FBI agents claimed political bias, infected operations, feeling like pawns in a political war. This is an after action. This is something they do. Police departments, they do this assessment, and that's what their rank and file members had said. Now we're going to move on. We got some, where are we at? 112. Perfect. We're going to move on now. And again, we are probably going to do another show today. I think we always do 2 shows, but we're supposed to do 1 show on Friday. But today we will do a Rumble Premium show, guys. We will have a Rumble Premium show because we're doing this show a little early. There was so much stuff to do. That's why it's already an hour, 13 minutes, and we haven't even got to the excitement of the Democrats in Chicago this morning. But if you're not on Rumble, follow us on Rumble and become a premium member. It helps us out tremendously. We are a Rumble partner. And so we do at minimum of 5 hours a month premium on Rumble. So this afternoon, there will be a Rumble premium. You'll want to check it out. Don't know how. I know it'll at least be about an hour, hour and a half, but it might go as far as 2 hours. We might be covering some of this stuff in more details. So thank you to all the Rumble Premium. And if you want to sign up for Rumble Premium, you can do so on our Rumble page. Check this out. This guy right here. I'm showing you this because of JD Vance's response. It's hilarious. I mean, I just love that we have a president and vice president that can take to social media and just show the irony. But this person put a picture up of Kid Rock after Bud Light went all trans on us. Remember that? And it says, this is how MAGA responded after Bud Light had the audacity to feature a trans influencer in their ads. So spare us your bullshit about violent rhetoric from the left. And he tagged JD Vance in it. Take a look at this. This was it. A guy on his own property shooting some beer cans.
Bud Light and Anheuser-Busch. Have a terrific day.
Now, if you kind of redneck okie like me, you grew up shooting cans. And so he said, this is how MAGA responded after Bud Light had the audacity to feature a trans influencer in their ads. So spare us your BS about violent rhetoric from the left. And JD Vance retweeted it. And he says, I call upon all of our supporters to stop the violence against innocent beer cans. And I call upon all left-wing radicals to stop inciting violence against innocent people. Boom, I just loved it. So, craziness this morning. We've seen everything going on in the ICE facilities. We've seen the shootings. We had, I think it's still two, right? Two detainees killed, another one injured, another left-wing sniper, assassin. And then, so this is a vehicle. I got a couple different videos to show you. So this is a DHS vehicle being assaulted by a mob of anti-ICE riders. These are the Democrat Party people at the Broadville, Illinois ICE facility. Take a look at this. This car's just trying to get in there. Down with deportation. Up with liberation. Up with liberation. Pedal on the right, folks. Pedal on the right. Vandalism, obstructing a federal officer. I see so much here.
I believe that we will win. I believe that we will win.
You know what I believe? That this will be a call for action from President Trump to put the National Guard out there. He hasn't done it yet. These are all federal officers that have been doing their jobs, that have been in Chicago for the last 50 years. Now it's time to bring in the big guns. And again, if Chicago don't want to put local police departments out there to stop the law breaking, the vandalism, the obstructing of an officer, I don't know what to tell you. Again, I love the pedal on the right. That's the gas pedal. And again, I'm sick of these anti-American scumbags. Here's one from Blaze Media from a different angle. The first one was from Ford Fisher News to Share, giving him credit for that video.
I believe that we will win. 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 Who's streets? Who's streets? Who's streets? Who's streets? Who's people? Who's people? Who's people? Fuck this pig! Fuck this pig! Fuck this pig!
I want to look at this right here. Like,
fuck this pig!
Look at. So you definitely have two that are what they call on the spectrum right there. This one, and then you look at this white guy right here. These are the white Democrat liberals that are destroying this country. When these two, I guess they probably identify as girls, have the same haircut as I do, there's probably a problem, folks. You can spot these folks a mile away. We got a lot of video on this. We got a lot of video. Let's see. What's this one? This was interesting. This is from Julio Rosas. You guys met Julio on our live streams. He's been covered the border. He's one of the reporters for Blaze Media. Take a look at this. He caught this right here, and I want to show you the good part because there is a headshot here. Take a look at this. Watch this one right here. This one right there. Whoa! Look at. Right there. Boom! Now, I think we got a close-up of that so you guys could see that. This was the headshot. Look, right in the, you can see right there on the left-hand side of your scene, it little headshot right there exploding. I think that, again, I think they need to go to a little bit stronger munition system. I do. And I think that we'll probably see that. Again, Democrats, these white liberals that are out there are escalating the violence. They're putting ICE officers in danger. They were putting the detainees in danger. This same group just killed 2 detainees a couple days ago. We have some different stories here. This is again from Ford Fisher right here. Protesters attempt to toss tear gas. So again, another law enforcement is deploying tear gas to get violent protesters out of the area. They are taking the tear gas and assaulting law enforcement with it. There could become, I hope, minimum 5 years for this person. Let's just hope. We can only pray to get these scum off the earth. Let's take a look. Watch that tear gas can. And the great thing is that guy has no mask on. He will be easily identified. Watch again. Eventually, we're going to have to change this to 50 calibers because tear gas isn't working. This was this morning in Chicago at the ICE facility. This is why they will deploy the National Guard. I got everything under control. Remember when it was crazy in LA and they were lying, saying Trump was lying? Well, they won't show you this video and Chicago will say Trump is lying. Let's see. We got some more. I didn't pull them all up. I'll have to pull up some here in a minute. Let's see. This was from another one from Ford Fisher. Right there. That person right there, green backpack.
normal water if you want to drink.
Just insane. Let me pull this up. Let me see. I think Julio has some other video we'll share with you. This is insane. This is where they're yelling to shoot ICE. They're literally chanting that right there. That sounds like incitement to violence, but I don't know.
Arrest ICE! Arrest ICE! Arrest ICE! Arrest ICE! Shoot ICE! Shoot the fuckers! Shoot the fuckers!
Shoot ICE! Shoot them effers! Shoot them effers! Let's see. Here's another. Federal agents use tear gas to push back anti-ICE crowd in Valley. I just love this. When she comes running up, I think it's great when she gets like that. So that's what's going on to Chicago. So I'm sure you're going to hear an announcement of a deployment soon. They're asking for it. They want it. If you didn't want it, you would let an ICE vehicle pull into the facility. They're doing their job, the job that Democrats and Republicans put into law for them to do. This isn't Trump's people doing this. This is a law that's been on the books. A lot of these people they're arresting, violent criminals, peoples with orders for deportations for years. They've already had their due process. Think, what is it, 1.7 million people? I'll have to double check. Let me see if I can find that out. How many people are in the United States with orders of deportation? Browsing. Give it 1 second. Final orders of deportation, also known as final orders of removal, are issued by immigration judges after they have due process, after hearings, making individuals legally removable from the U.S. And it says, however, many such individuals remain in the country either because they are not yet located, known as immigration fugitives, or due to prosecutorial discretion. Based on the most recent available data from the American Immigration Council, this was early 2025, so it's much more now. Approximately 1.2 million non-citizens in the United States have a final order of removal. So 1.2 million people, the Democrats can't get on board and say, okay, these people have had their due process. An immigration judge has decided that they need to be removed from the country. They're not here for asylum. Let's get these 1.2 million. And then we can, no. They want those people to stay. Just insane, guys. How about this one? Got the next one up here. So we just had 2 detainees killed by a radical leftist. What do you think Democrats are doing with that? They're fundraising off it. Their bodies aren't even cold. Take a look at this. This is Justice Democrats. Look at their fundraiser after 2 detainees were murdered. Since Donald Trump took back the White House and launched his cruel mass deportation agenda, at least 17 people have died in ICE custody. 2 detainees were cruelly shot and killed by a gunman at an ICE facility yesterday in Dallas. Not only are people dying in detention centers, but at the hands of ICE agents, but hundreds have gone missing. And this is add your name and donate now. There is no low that a Democrat won't go to. Let's see if we had anything else. We wanted to bring this up. I think this is important because you want to know what those ICE agents are doing. Well, they did a sting. ICE, FBI, DEA, and U.S. Marshals arrested 21 illegal aliens in Wisconsin. 9 of them were tied to child trafficking and sexual assault. And this is what they're protesting, folks. Take a look.
Behind the Manitowoc County Sheriff's Office, filled with federal agents early Thursday morning in these pictures posted online by the FBI's Milwaukee office. Officials calling it a joint operation with U.S. Marshals, ICE agents, and the Drug Enforcement Association. 21 people arrested, who the FBI says are in the country illegally. Authorities say 9 are suspected of sexual assault and/or trafficking young girls. The parking lot behind the Manitowoc County Sheriff.
Could you imagine protesting that? That's what these men and women do every day. It's just absolutely insane. If you don't want to put your country first, go find a country that you want to put first. Go find a country that you want to put first. It's just absolutely insane, guys. Absolutely insane. I want to say thank you to all you guys tuning in. Make sure you're around this afternoon, probably 3 o'clock, maybe 2 o'clock since we got this done early. But we are going to be doing a Rumble Premium. We're going to be going through a whole lot of information. We might even play some of our own J6 footage. Want to say thank you. We are 100% viewer funded. If you guys would like to donate, you can do that. We appreciate the blessing. That's what keeps the lights on, keeps us traveling, and keep us in hotel rooms while we're traveling. We have a Venmo. A Venmo is at Oreo Josh. A Cash App, which is $ Oreo Army. We also have a Give, Send, Go. It's givesendgo.com/Oreo 2024. And if you guys do mobile or online banking and would like to do a transfer, that would be great. We have Zelle. Our Zelle address is on our website, theoreoexpress.com. On our homepage, there's a Donate Now button. And also that Zelle address will come up as we play our out song. So again, thank you so much. I appreciate y'all. I'm just checking the email really quick just in case we had to give a shout out, but not today. Thank you for everybody. B. Mikey for gifting the subscriptions. Let's see. Live chat. I don't think there was any Rumble rants. No, there wasn't. So thank you all. God bless you. And we will see you this afternoon. Here comes the donation links, guys. Thank you.
Well, hop aboard the Oreo Express, where truth don't hide and we don't second guess. Unapologetic, we're bold and we're loud, shining light on the left shady crowd. Oreo Express, rolling down the track, exposing the lies, ain't no turning back. Conservative fire, we're speaking the truth. At Oreo Express, this one's for you. So grab your boots, let's take a stand for freedom, faith, and the heart